Member for Callide.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. And I'm certainly happy to rise and speak in this House. And it's unfortunate that we've got to deal with yet another game from the Labor Party. And a game, Mr Deputy Speaker, I argue is not about the safety of the coal mine workers and the mine workers here in Queensland. And I've said on record a number of times through the history of my time here in Parliament that we need to be getting on with the job of delivering good safety outcomes. And unfortunately, we didn't see that time and again from those opposite. And this motion moved by the member opposite is talking about withdrawing parts of this bill, Mr Deputy Speaker, and then sending them back to committee and then getting on with delivering some of those other parts of the bill. And funnily enough, those parts that they want to put back through to be passed this week are the parts that the member was just criticising, including the Land Access Ombudsman changes, Mr Deputy Speaker. And the Minister, I'm sure members on this side of the House will be talking about it, but you know, for context on that, the LAO cost the taxpayer $617,000 a year, and across a 12-month period, they received only 30 phone calls, 17 emails and 2 direct inquiries and engagement events across that period. And that's why we need to get smarter in how we do things here in Queensland. We need to ensure we deliver respect for Queenslanders' money, Mr Deputy Speaker. It's a principle of this government. We took it to the election. We're not getting rid of the functions of the LAO, and that's very clear. We're making sure that we're efficient and effective in what we do while delivering the outcomes that Queenslanders expect. Now, we need to get on with the job of passing this important bill, Mr Deputy Speaker, but on to the bits that the member wants withdrawn to go back to the drawing board. Now, I'll note he himself has circulated amendments to deal with the very issue that he's now talking about needs to be withdrawn and go back to the drawing board. So that is case in point, that you don't need to draw a bit of legislation. If he himself has amendments he can move to fix the problem that he says is a problem, and such a big problem, you've got to withdraw the legislation and redraft it. But what is this really about, Mr Deputy Speaker? I would say it is about the CFMEU and their union mates, Mr Deputy Speaker. They need to come in here and make sure they wheel and deal for their union mates and make sure they're not happy with the fact, and you see that in the amendments that moved, with the fact that their union mates aren't getting guaranteed jobs, because this government believes in appointing people that have the skills to do a job, and we certainly don't have we're not beholden to the union agenda that we've seen previously, Mr Deputy Speaker. But the other point I'd make is 11 submissions, and it was a very comprehensive report that the Primary Industries and Resources Committee, chaired of course by the member for Burnett, delivered. But 11 submissions, I would dare say, is not case in point on why you need to withdraw legislation, Mr Deputy Speaker. And why are we here? And one of the functions that they're talking about, I want this legislation withdrawn so it can be redrafted, is in regards to the Commissioner's role. And I've read the Susan Johnston review of the Queensland Resources Safety and Health Regulatory Model from front to back, and it is incredibly damning about the history and the failures that we inherited by those opposite from RSHQ and the failures throughout a long period of time. Now, from that, I can quote a couple of things, and I appreciate that when us as a government gets third parties to undertake this work, and they do a very good job of it, we've also got to take on board, read the evidence ourselves and make sure we deliver outcomes good for Queensland. Because the reviewer in this, so I'll quote from this report. Relevantly, the reviewer, this is in regards to the Commissioner's role. Relevantly, the reviewer has not been able to locate any documents that specify exactly what outcomes are expected of the CRSH role. And that's from those previously. So these, the Labor Party are now coming in here and talking up how important this role is, when under them, what was it achieving? There's plenty of other quotes here. Here's another one. I don't know 100% of what they do. The Commissioner's attending forums and visiting mines, but what is he supposed to do? I'm not clear on the role of the Commissioner. Is it resourced? It's all a bit murky. That's from an RSHQ employee. I think it's a figurehead position, another RSHQ employee. I think they largely chair the ComShack and MShack. It was an industry representative. So that those opposite are talking about how important this role is and how we've got to go back and spend more weeks delaying important mine safety legislation, I might add, because if we withdraw this and send it back to the drawing board, Mr Deputy Speaker, that's time that we don't have a board overseeing RSHQ that will provide the important oversight necessary to ensure that's delivering outcomes for the mining sector in Queensland. And I've worked both in New South Wales and in Queensland, Mr Deputy Speaker. When I worked in the coal mines in Queensland, those opposite were in charge. It was under the model of those opposite. And I've spoken in this House about it before. I worked at a mine site when a coal miner got killed, Mr Deputy Speaker. And that was a horrendous circumstance. I wasn't on shift, fortunately, but it happened a couple of days before I'd go back on shift. And that was a horrendous thing. And no family should have to go through that. And that's why we've gone through the process. We made sure we put experts in to undertake a comprehensive report. Now we have important legislation to deliver upon a lot of these changes. And I take that interjection from the member opposite who's saying we ignored it. Well, there's 3 recommendations from that report that I dare say are incredibly important that we're getting on with the job of delivering. And I know the member for Burdekin is going to deliver them.